What's going on, Fathom DJ here in Chicago in the building? Hope you're well. I'm sitting here editing, going through a piece of music that's set to come out at the end of January or early February. The name of the tune is Passion, and it's featuring Marquel Jordan, who is a Chicago based saxophone player. So I'm sitting here thinking, as usual, going through my process, listening to the different sections and kind of arranging and chopping up bits and pieces and moving things around. And I was thinking about the concept of Chicago DJs. A couple days ago, this is the beginning of 2016. A couple days ago, I posted on my fan page on Facebook that one of the things that I see as a concern for Chicago DJs is our lack of products. Now, DJing is a service. Yes, I must say that. It is a service. Some of us may not see it as a service. Some of these folks who book you for gigs and opportunities may not see DJing as a service. It's just something you do. No, it is a service. It is a service of your business. Now that we have properly placed DJing in the business world, which some of us still have yet to do, let's talk about the other half of it, because businesses normally have two sides. There's products and services. DJing is a service. The question would be, what are your products? And this is where I think Chicago struggles. And I can't just say Chicago because, of course, other places have other mentalities and things of that nature. And I'm sure there are a bunch of people thinking that DJing is all that there is. There are producers who are starting to DJ because they have products and they want to add services. And so in that effort, we need to, in my opinion, as Chicago DJs, bone up on our products. DJing is something that you can do. You buy music, you find opportunities, you have friends who throw parties, you have connectivity to venue owners, and you may be working in the club network, or you may be working private events, or art gallery gatherings, or any of those things. The question becomes, when you're not doing that, what else do you have that adds equity to your brand, that adds possibilities to you getting booked? Music production is one of those products that I think needs to be in your mind and to be focused on as you make your way as a DJ. It's not for everybody. I do understand that. When I was DJing only, and when I first started DJing, I didn't want to produce. I recall myself saying, I don't want to produce music. God only knows why I would think that. But as I grew, and especially during a period when technology started to change over and the software programs that I DJ'd on made it easier to conceptualize what production is like, came into play, a light went off or came on. And so I revisited it. I had a couple tunes that I worked on back in the day with a buddy of mine. And what I'll say is they were decent, but I wasn't prepared from a business standpoint to actually place those tracks in places where they would be effective for my brand. So let's utilize the concept of how to add legs to your brand. Some people would just assume that production is something that's not going to make you money, but is a calling card to your DJing. And at this point in the game, we have to renegotiate that concept. Brand equity to me for a DJ would be podcasts or video tutorials like this one. This creates interest. It confirms your understanding and your knowledge of programs. It confirms your understanding and knowledge of equipment, and it is a level of creating a level of interest in what you do by having podcasts, video casts, tutorials, demos, video of you playing out at certain venues, or streams of you playing and DJing in certain places. These things add interest, but guess what? You probably won't make any money off of them. The idea that regardless to what happens, you have a product on the market that can be bought needs to be somewhere in your mind. The idea that when you're at home and you may not be getting gigs, but if you have music on the market that could potentially be played in places you have never been to, never got bookings with, your music has a longer reach than you may have. Your original productions could end up in several places, could end up as a TV commercial, could end up as a website soundtrack, could end up in several different places and arenas. And maybe this is stuff that you already know. I'm not certain. I've known this for a while, but in my mind, as a creative person and as also a person who may kind of be hesitant about the concept of engaging another sense of business, these things have to be addressed. And from a legacy standpoint, it is, in my opinion, one of the things that I would like to address, because it's one of the things that I think could help someone who's coming into the game or someone who's looking for reinvention into the game. It could help get your wheels turning and get you in a state of mind to start to create your own music. What I'm doing that I haven't quite done is getting uncomfortable, and I have a few music mentors who have had production, original production on the market for forever, or for a decent period of time. So it's just about having the right kind of people behind you and pushing you forward in that process. And that is one of the things that I plan on doing and being for those who would like to partake in learning production. The idea of having folks around you who are open and uninsecure and prepared to show you the ropes and get you to where you need to go in terms of original production is something that I think, or in my opinion, is lacking in Chicago specifically. So this is one of the things that I plan on addressing. We do have female DJs and producers who are in the city. I am not certain that they are putting out music, or I'm not sure where they are. They're not in my circles or my networks of doing. So when there is lack, there is opportunity. And as I see it today, and have seen it for the last year, it is definitely a space that needs to be taken, that needs to be seized. We need to be creating and owning our own products. If you're savvy enough, if you have the connections and the financial capital or what have you, owning clubs could be another leg. Owning a record label and putting out other people's music, owning t-shirt lines and products that can be placed on websites and put in places that could garner not only more possibilities in terms of gigs, but also revenue, income. These are the things that we need to be addressing in terms of business and legacy. And as I listen to older classic house music and think about those who came before us and walked this walk, the idea is to learn from them and to apply the things that they did do and then the things that they didn't do. So this is where I am. And this is why I've created this video. And this is the reason why I would like for those folks who are interested in partaking in the concept of creating their own music to get inspired and encouraged and do so. So that's where I am today in the studio. Fathom DJ. Once again, you can check me out in your webosphere by simply Googling me and finding me. And of course, beneath this video are links to my other social media sites as well as my website. So that's it for today. And I bid you well wishes and cosmic kisses. Space.